And hopefully you know what that is already. You know what you're looking for. Are you that person? Because you don't find those people, you create those people. You create those people by being that person yourself. You attract what you become. Really check yourself. If you're kind of whining, kind of complaining, and a bit of blaming your upline, downline, crossline, sideline that is not working for you, you're really going to find some people who are going to step up and create wealth for you in your business. You set the pace. Honestly, your business will grow as much as you grow. Remember that phrase. Your business will grow as much as you grow. So first, you lead yourself. And second, you pave the way. This journey, your USANA business, is a beautiful mountain to climb, and you want other people to enjoy the top with you. Yeah, actually, that's how you get to the top, is you bring other people with you, but you need to pave the way. My dad, he was my hero. He was one of the youngest of 9 children in his family. His dad left him at a young age, leaving his mom, my Mimi, to fend for these 9 children on her own. They didn't have much money, as you can imagine, so she didn't have a car. She needed to make ends meet, so she started to clean homes in the nearing neighborhood. Dad would tell me stories of her hands coming home raw and red from cleaning day in and day out with harsh chemicals to make ends meet. With no car, no matter the weather, groceries, she'd have to lug them home herself. In fact, 2 of the oldest boys were sent away to live with other relatives, making 2 less mouths to feed for her family. My dad would tell me stories of his bath water being the hand-me-down water after all the other kids have had a bath. My dad drew a line in the sand and he carved out a new road for his life. And he said, that is not going to happen for my future and my destiny. So he created a new life for himself, and he had a great life, and he started to enjoy abundance in his life. And yet, in so doing, he paved the way for his next generation, me and my siblings. My dad adored my mother. He was faithful to me and my siblings. He provided everything he could, and we lacked nothing. And we learned nothing but hard work and dedication and integrity from my dad. And he truly paved the way for us to have a brighter future. And yet my dad died too young. He died at the age of 59 of cancer. He had heart disease and diabetes. And that's where I now have drawn that line in the sand and said, the next generation is going to be even better than the one he gave me. It is stopping here. There will be no degenerative diseases for me or my children. So you pave the way, and you do it in 2 ways. One is you set the example, and that smooths the path for others. And 2, be willing to be a trailblazer in your business. I know for me, my sponsor traveled the globe. She wasn't very available. And it served me well. I had to knuckle down, figure out the system, put it in place for my team, create the venues upon which we could do events, etc., etc. And we made it possible for our team. Making the next generation raise higher, be greater, and accomplish more. And my team right there are greater than me, and they will be greater than me. So first, you lead yourself. Second, you pave the way. And third, you impart to others the skills, the knowledge that is needed in this business. Teach them how to approach. That's why I've got the approach CD out there that I know a lot of you use. Break it down, teach them. Show them how to present. Show them how to follow up. Teach them the skills they need for this industry, this company, and these products. But if you don't impart in them a belief that they can do it, there will be no next generation of leadership. That's my dad, and these are my next generation. My dad, I grew up hearing this, Becky, you can do whatever you set your mind to. So guess what I grew up believing? That I could do whatever I set my mind to. Did I deserve that? No. He was saying that when I hadn't performed anything yet. He believed in me regardless. Even if your downline aren't producing right now, Are you believing in them? And the seeds of greatness that are planted on the inside of them? Can you water that for them? My children, some of you who have little people in your life and you just love them to bits might identify with this, but I love children's feet. So my kids' feet, when I see their bare feet, first I squeeze them, but then the next thing is I just start in, I can see their future, and I squeeze them. They're going to do great, mighty things. And I do it with both of them, but this is the story of my daughter, Mickey. One day, not long ago, again, Mickey, you're going to do great, mighty things. You are doing great, mighty things. These feet are going to take you to amazing places, and you're going to bless lots of people. Well, I have been doing this since she was a baby, so this is a few weeks ago, and I started in, it was with a nice attitude, but it was, yeah, Mom, I'm going to do great, mighty things, and you bless lots of people in your lives. What is this? I know. As in, enough already. So her dad, Craig, my husband, says to her, Mickey, what if you had a mom that didn't say those things? In fact, she said, Mick, you can't do anything you want to. You're not good at anything. She looked at him and said, well, Dad, Mom would be joking. And that meant the world to me, because what that meant is it's inconceivable in her mind that I or anyone else might not believe in her. The foundation is laid, and she will do great, mighty things. There's a story in my favorite book, the ancient book of old, the Bible, of a man named Gideon. There's this army coming, and the enemy army, and they needed to be defeated. So God says to Gideon, I've got this army coming and they need to be defeated. Could you just get rid of them for me? And Gideon says, well, first of all, out of all the tribes you could have chosen, we're the smallest tribe, so you got the wrong family. And then out of everyone in my family, I'm the weakest guy, and you got the wrong guy. And God didn't say, well, then I'll move on to someone else. No, he said to him, you mighty man of valor, you are strong and courageous. Get up and fight the enemy. With words and a belief in people, anything can happen. And of course, Gideon defeated the enemy army. Are you believing and speaking life into your people? My daughter, Mikiah, who we call Mickey, she's 6. She's been doing gymnastics and dance since she was about 2. But it's been in the last year that she's been in the competitive arena. And that's been an amazing vehicle to teach her the skills and the attitudes and the behavior for success. It's taught her hard work. We practice. It's not a recreational program. She comes home and she practices. We've done goal setting and visualizing with her. It's taught her dedication. She's got to show up, even if she's not feeling very well. She's worked very, very hard on her gymnastics and dance. Yet she hasn't competed yet. The competitions start at the end of March. Will she win her competitions this year? I don't know. But I do know this. We are setting her up to succeed in this life. She's been working on 3 pieces with her dance. A ballet solo, a ballet duet, and an afro solo. Her afro, which is like a cross between dance and gymnastics, has by far been her most challenging. She hit a wall with it. She was needing to do a back walkover, and there's no mat when you're on stage. So she was scared to hit her head. And we got this wall to the point where the teachers were like, I think we might have to pull a piece. I'm not sure she can do it. And her afro was on a Friday night. She's sick, she's tired, she's been 4 hours of gymnastics that week, all day in school every day. Afro's on a Friday night, she's exhausted. She came home, we said, do you want to pull a piece? She said, no. So well, here's what we need to do. We need to talk about your fears. We need to break through your fears. You need to know that you do great, mighty things. And you need to believe. Can you visualize that back walkover? Can you visualize getting through your piece? And we worked it, and she worked hours, and she's worked hours, and she's finally completed that piece. And today, what I'd like to do is to pave the way for the next generation by sharing the stage with Mickey. And you're joining me in allowing the next generation to start crashing through their comfort zones now and giving the experiences they need now. Today, Mikiah Lawson, a baby, has been on these products since conception, is going to perform for you her most challenging piece. Please encourage Mikiah. It's not just about our USANA teams and our downline. It's about our place in our families, in our communities, and in our world. Are we first leading ourselves? Second, paving the way. And third, imparting in others a belief that they can do it. A belief in our children to be more, to accomplish great things, and to accept no limits. What about our communities? Are we showing them a way to abundance, greater health, and financial freedom through our leadership with USANA? And what about our place in this world? Are you being a conduit of change in a hurting world? People are suffering. They're suffering from disease, debt, lack of purpose, and lack of contribution. If we pass that baton, especially to the next generation, we would have a revolution of change. Each generation coming up higher, coming up greater than the one before. Happy, healthy, abundant. And knowing that when you've run your race, you have had a change in this place, in this world. In a minute, I'm going to ask you to stand and make a commitment. And I don't want you to stand if this isn't burning in your heart. And I don't want you to stand because your downline is watching. And I don't want you to stand because your neighbors are. And I don't want you to wait to stand to see who else does. I want you to stand because you're ready. You're ready to step it up. Lead yourself and commit to that. Pave the way for others and have a belief in others and yourself that you can do it. Please stand. Standing says this: I commit to being a conduit of change. I commit to leading myself first, paving the way for others, and instilling in others a belief that they can do it. I take hold of my position as a leader in my world, in my family, in my business, and in my community.